fired twice in the paper.
Yeah.
And, And then Ohio State is number one, according to all of this junk I'm looking at here. But, that's... These young kids, you don't know what they want and how much pressure they're under from family and friends and girlfriends and those sort of things. It has a lot to do with where they go and what they do. And also, I'll tell you something else, that this whole business, I was asking Cobb about the quarterbacks. Well, you got 3 or 4 5-star quarterbacks ahead of you. Are you going to go there, or you want to go somewhere else?
Depends on what kind of person you are. Feel like you can compete, and you feel like Clemson's going to continue to be a factor in the national picture every year, I think you go to Clemson. If you feel like you're a game changer or want to go to a program that's downtrodden and try and help build them up and start something on your own, then there's that approach too. So I don't necessarily think either one's wrong. I mean, I know right now, with the situation Clemson is in as far as going to the playoffs undefeated, all the positive press that's going on, they don't have a lot of scholarships this year. So there are some over there with their fingers crossed and they've already had a couple say they're going to move on, but they're hoping for more players to say, you know what, I need to take my talents elsewhere, and just to open up some scholarships, because the way this season has gone,
and they don't have that many seniors.
There's going to be some. Yeah, no, they don't. And that's the other thing that people forget about this team and is rarely talked about. This was a totally rebuilt offensive line with one person, 2 people back that had played any significant time. The defense had to be retooled. They're basically a year ahead of schedule, which means next year there's going to be a lot of unfair pressure on them, I think. But still, I mean, you keep winning 10 games a year, I'd challenge anybody to be upset about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. Yeah.
That's crazy but it is kind of interesting to me now that Clemson's gotten into the playoff and everything, just how insignificant the other bowl games have become. If it's not about those 2 semifinal games, then, and this year, this may be the timing, because the 2 semifinals are before several bowl games are played on January 1. Which doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
To me.
It doesn't. I've always maintained that this is what would happen to the bowl system, the bowl games.
Oh, yeah. And there's going to be some serious discussion in the offseason because of the 5 and 7s and the 6 and 6s. There's just way too many, hey, let's put a committee together and have a bowl game type deals. It's not a reward. It's a way for communities to
make money.
Exactly.
The original idea behind the Rose Bowl was for that, to try to bring some people into Pasadena,
right,
and do this kind of thing. And that is exactly what is going to happen, though. The bowl games are going to get more and more insignificant, or more significant, less significant, either way you want to put it. It's easy for me to say, but that is going to happen. Now, how can you say that a bowl game that's is it Notre Dame and Ohio State?
Yeah,
man,
that's a good game.
Fabulous game.
And I will yield that to you. That of all the games outside of the Final Four, that's the one.
That is the one
that is watchable. I think the rest of them, Georgia and Penn State.
Oh, what Stanford
on January 2nd? Yeah. Come on.
Well, I don't know about January 2nd.
With no coaching staff, Georgia doesn't have a coaching. I mean, it's nuts.
Now, the only people that are going to care anything about the other bowls, the real minor bowls, are the people who have the
involved.
Teams,
yeah, exactly.
And the conferences, because the conferences are going to make some money.
Right. But have you ever wanted a reward trip to Montgomery, Alabama?
How about Independence? I mean, how about the Independence Bowl down
Shreveport,
there?
Louisiana.
Of course, now I want to
Although Shreveport's a whole lot better than when I went there in '85. There was nothing there in '85.
Well, Shreveport's
now
not
they
bad.
have casinos.
They have casinos and
Yeah.
and seafood and crawfish and all of that
I'll
stuff
give
is
you
there.
that. But the casinos make that a whole lot more attractive trip than it used to be.
But it's mighty cold at times.
Oh yeah,
Man,
sure it was.
It's cold. But how about the thing at Boise State?
Well, I was highly critical of that situation when Clemson went out there, but I can just tell you I was probably wrong on that, because every Clemson person I know that went on that trip thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think the reason is that was a part of the country that Clemson never got to go to. Let's face it, if you fall into the regular bowl slots now, it's either going to be Atlanta, Orlando, or Nashville. Well, been all those places, you know.
Now, Nashville's not bad to go to.
No.
But there's Atlanta.
I would like. Well, Atlanta's up and back. I mean, it's not a bowl trip, but
right.
Yeah, I would agree with you on Nashville. Nashville's fun. There's usually something going on there during the holidays. A lot of live music, a lot of bars.
You might find somebody picking a guitar there.
Well, yeah,
right.
Sure. Yeah, I walk up and down Broadway, I can promise you. But but it's just I've always yearned for the old days when the color jackets would come into the press box and there'd be 6 or 7 or 8 bowls there, and they're recruiting. They're openly recruiting. They're trying to make their deals. They're trying to put their games together. And I think it was a much better system then, and the matchups were a whole lot more attractive than trying to, okay, we're slotting this bowl and this bowl and this bowl. You know,
right.
I mean, who wants to go to freaking Yankee Stadium the day after Christmas? I mean, come on. I mean, I'm sorry.
How about the Detroit Bowl?
Yeah,
up there?
Well, at least that's indoors.
Yeah, but you got to go back to your
hotel.
hotel.
Go to Detroit. Yeah, you might get held up going back to your hotel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but but some of the minor ones like the Miami Beach Bowl or the Bahamas Bowl.
Well, that'd be a great trip. The either 2 or 3 bowls in Orlando now.
Yeah,
and you never run out of entertainment in Orlando.
Oh no,
and food.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's always something going on in Orlando. So, but the Gator Bowl, used to be a fairly prestigious bowl.
Yeah.
Now it's just kind of an afterthought, which is a shame. And but anyway,
I've always been cold there though when I go.
Oh yeah, I've never
cold.
It's like the Peach Bowl. The weather was never good for the Peach Bowl. Yeah.
Cobb, I don't know how much time we've got. I don't want to have to flip it over.
But we haven't heard the click yet.
No, I haven't heard that. Folks, if you hear a click, I'm just going to flip the tape over, so don't stop. Just keep on listening. We lost a couple of listeners a few weeks back. We're getting some of them back now. mostltsportstalk@gmail.com. And that's, we wouldn't mind hearing from you. I really enjoy this, and I appreciate it when Cobb comes, and he's a busy guy, and he comes and helps me do this, and he is a well-informed guy, especially about Clemson. Or
I just pretend like I'm informed.
Well, shh. I've tried.
Don't tell anybody. I make it up as I go along.
You did that when you wrote sports, didn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what most of them do.
Exactly.
Okay, quickly, before we run out, we were at the ball game on Saturday. Who threw that dumb pass?
You talking about Sunday? Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, Dante. And
what was he thinking? He wasn't.
Well, it just continues to be bugaboos for this team. Inbounding the ball late in the game and making clutch free throws and making a basket when we really needed it. And they struggled all night long, finally got the lead, and then the absolute, just in the last minute and a half, just did not make a play. And
it was awful.
I don't know why they can't drop an inbounds play, but I'm pulling hard. I don't think anything's going to happen this season, but they're behind the 8 ball now. They've got PC College tonight, which will be a layup. They'll win that one. But then here comes South Carolina, ranked for the first time
on a roll
in recent memory, or at least since Frank Martin's been there. And they'll be big and physical. And I hope for a positive result, but I'm not expecting one. And then before Christmas, to go to Athens and play Georgia. There won't be anybody there but me and maybe a few of my closest friends, but at least it'll count as a road game. And they really need these next three, and if they're going to have any chance of being in the conversation, because the ACC is just their opening game in the ACC is at Chapel Hill on the 30th, so we all know how that usually goes. So, they've really, and then they come home for Florida State, which the last two trips to Clemson by Florida State have been probably some of the most, just, I don't know how to describe it, but it's not basketball. And the score, I don't think, got out of the 40s, and it was just beating on each other. And Florida State's got about 10 7-footers, and it's just not very pretty basketball. So I mean, they really need to get these next three and then get off to some kind of start in conference play, or it could go south.
Thank you, Cobb Oxford, and thank you, folks, for listening in. I just, as usual, I made a mistake here, and
no, not you.
Well, I'm getting better. I've only been doing this 50 years, for goodness sake. Give me time. Okay, everybody, it's the Mostly Sports Talk, and it's just been great to be with you for a little while. We'll do it again real soon.